Did you eat that burrito, Cuzzo? You better have, motherfucker. I didn't make that shit. This motherfucker already has a. Where is this fucker? What you want, you Smokey? What you want, huh? What? What you want? Huh? Get. What you want? Get
In a world where January is supposed to be boring, one staple of the holidays refuses to end. The great deals at Verizon. The joy just keeps on coming. Right now, you can save on 4 new phones and 4 lines. Critics agree, it's the deal that keeps on giving. Come into Verizon and save on 4 new phones and 4 lines on unlimited welcome. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
All right, put your feet up. We've got lots of time to talk about it. Let's start by talking about that man. Obviously, Hutch, you play on the defensive side of the ball, but you had Ben Johnson there with you for a long time in Detroit. What have you seen that he has done that has led Chicago from where they were to where they sit right now?
Yeah, I mean, Ben is one of the most creative minds as a coordinator. I saw it for years in practice. I mean, it was tough practicing against him, but you see it even in that interview, or even in that post game. He's you see the guys, the belief. Like now they won a playoff game, like Caleb. And that pains me as an in-division rival, but like you still see it, and I can respect what he's done and how he's done it. You know?
Ben Johnson, I mean, the coaching job that he has done there, remarkable, Rex. What do we say?
Absolutely. I mean, look, the whole question coming in, it wasn't going to be, can this team make the playoffs? That was never in consideration. Well, look at them. They win a division. This is what happens when you get the right guy to be your coach and leader of your franchise. But the job he's done specifically with Caleb Williams is incredible. Look, this guy was always in gun in college. He went to the rookie year very rarely, struggled, quite honestly, underneath center. Now, he's absolutely outstanding. And when I call him Cardiac Caleb, that's when he's at his best. Yeah. And when it comes down to game on the line, is anybody playing better than Caleb Williams? I mean, it's amazing for only a second-year player. Yeah. But you got to tip your hat to that. That thing with Ben Johnson and Caleb, it's unreal, and it's filtered throughout that entire football.
It is. It's scary, I think, because when you combine a lot of the structure stuff that Ben Johnson brings, the run game, the play action, then you bring this element that Caleb has that's just crazy special. I mean, some of the plays that he made in the second half. You talked about not letting him out of the pocket. I mean, this guy on the run is unbelievable.
How many people could make this play?
I mean, at this point, this was so important, right? Green Bay just scored. You kind of thought the game was over. 4th and 8, 5 minutes left in the ball game. And then to do this, I mean, to go to your left, again, this defies physics. Fellas, to get tackled by your lower body and have the strength in your upper body to make this throw, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Just an unbelievable play. I mean, again, watch this. Here comes the pressure. Nobody's open. I mean, he does this flat out on his own. And again, getting tackled right here.
Watch this.
I mean, look at this.
Watch this.
Randy. That silhouette looks like somebody else in Chicago, man.
I look like Jordan. I see you out there, Caleb. I look like Jordan. But hey, since we got my man Hutch out here, Hutch, we sit here and look at the highlights every single weekend, and we're in awe of what Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams has done in Chicago. You are out there on the field for 60 minutes plus trying to get him down to try to win the game. Can you talk about his skill set? Because us watching it from here on the television, we can't get the love and respect. I know you're going to get him, so can you talk about his skill set live in person?
Yeah, I mean, it's so clear as a runner. I think I missed probably 2 or 3 sacks on him this year, which hurt so bad.
Just this year.
If you're the first one running in, that's where it's the hardest because he's got the spin out. It's very quick, and man, he's so tough to defend. But I really think he's grown in Ben's system too, especially as the year gone on. Ben is a very progression system. It's evolved. It's high level offense, and I think as the year has progressed, he really has gotten a grasp of the offense. The offense in a great way.
Yeah, they never die. These Bears never die. I said it yesterday. It's just 21-0, 21-3, 21-6. It doesn't matter at all. They came out the second half. They played so much better. Rex, the pressure was getting there. They stopped the run. Defense really stepped up for them. It's not like they got turnovers this game. Yeah. They just played solid D in the second half.
That's to my point. I have been super critical of their defense and will remain that way throughout the playoffs. However, you got to give them credit. They had 4 Ks, and 4 Ks are 3 and outs, right?
Yep.
You can call them Ks a strikeout. That's how Green Bay started the half. And so to me, I got to give credit where credit's due. That defense was a major contributor as well in this game.
And maybe the Packers a contributor to that as well. Some of the things that we saw from them in that second half, wasting a couple of timeouts, taking a delay coming off of a timeout, and then our research producer Jacob Nerob with an outstanding tweet. In the second half, with a big lead, the Packers threw the ball on 74% of their plays, which the average in the NFL is under 50%. So there will be some questions about how they handle that. That brings us to Adam Schefter for the first time this morning. Schefter, what are we thinking after a heartbreaker for Green Bay?
Well, good morning, gentlemen. The Green Bay Packers and their new president, Ed Policy, have a significant decision to make here in the coming days. And that is whether to extend Matt LaFleur's contract. He's currently got 1 year remaining, or to move on from him. If they moved on from him, he automatically would go near the top of the coaches available and shake up this current head coaching cycle yet again. Notice how we said this belongs to the Packers president, Ed Policy. Well, the Packers' former president back in the day was a man by the name of Bob Harlan. Bob Harlan's son, Brian Harlan, represents John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is a Midwestern guy who has a home in the Upper Peninsula. And a lot of people around the league have been wondering if the Packers decide to go in a different direction, if all of a sudden the Green Bay Packers might vault to the top of John Harbaugh's list as the top available choice for him. This has been a wild, crazy coaching cycle, and we may just be scratching the surface, Greeny.
That's extremely well put. We thought that maybe John Harbaugh waiting till next week to take his interviews, perhaps waiting out, seeing what some other situations might turn into. We speculated about Green Bay. There'll be speculation about Buffalo. Rex, your thoughts on the possibility of your buddy Harbaugh in Green Bay?
Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, certainly that would be, if you're going to move on from an outstanding coach like Matt LaFleur, it would be for one man, and that would be John Harbaugh. All right, you're not going to take a lesser coach in there.
I think this is crazy. Well, I mean, Matt LaFleur has done an unbelievable job. You have a young quarterback, a bunch of young talent on the offensive side. There are teams dying to get a hold of a coach that knows this system. This is the most sought-after offensive system in the NFL. Matt LaFleur, I think, is a hell of a coach, and he's done a great job. Obviously, come up short in the playoffs now again. But what are we talking about?
I agree. I agree. This is insane. I think LaFleur is a great coach, but that's Adam Schefter. Okay, and when Adam Schefter speaks, you better listen. Now, I'll say this: if the Green Bay Packers, if they think about getting rid of Matt LaFleur, you already better have Harbaugh signed.
Right.
I mean, you can't do that, of course, but yes, you can. All right, so you better have everything behind the scenes. If you know Harbaugh's your guy and this is what you want, because everything what Adam Schefter just said, there better be just hands down. You know you're going to get him because you let Matt LaFleur go. I mean, this is crazy to me. So
Matt LaFleur, in the last 6 playoff games, the Packers are 1-5. For whatever that stat is worth, how much of that is on the coach? We've had a lot of conversations this week about playoff disappointment. The Packers, unfortunately, have had a good deal of that. So,
working across teams is tough, but Asana helps you handle it. That's because Asana is where humans and AI coordinate work together. AI can spot roadblocks and assign work in a snap, so everything and everyone stays on track. That's how work gets handled. That's Asana. Visit us at asana.com. That's ASANA.com.
So the Rams survive and advance. They'll play either Seattle or Chicago next week, depending on what happens today. What are the right things to say about Matt Stafford's performance?
I mean, listen, they go down, they have that final drive, right? Matthew Stafford's running on the field, and they put up the stat. It's like 50-some career comeback drives in the fourth quarter, right? Like this guy, is there anybody else in the NFL you would rather have in that situation right now than Matthew Stafford? I mean, he didn't even blink, right? I mean, it's almost like he was like looking forward to the opportunity. You hear him say it.
Let's talk about the whole fourth quarter for Stafford. 12 of 15, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just what Davante Adams said right there. It's what playoff football is. Somebody on the team has got to make the play. Sometimes it's a defense, but at the most, it's going to be the quarterback. The quarterback with the ball in his hands, however timeouts you got left, can you take it down the field? Kobe Turner said it best, but still, Bryce Young had his chance, right, fellas? Yes. Bryce had a great game. Yep. I thought he played fantastic. 38 seconds with 3 timeouts can be an eternity. They couldn't get it done. Stafford showed them how to do it.
Situational football, you hear me talk about this a lot. I think it showed up yesterday in the Carolina Rams game. When you talk about Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers late in the game, getting rhythm throws. Alex, you know as a quarterback, if the clock is ticking, we 3 timeouts?
Yes.
Get your quarterback in the rhythm. And if you go back to what the Rams was able to do, rhythm throws for Matthew Stafford. You heard Devontae Adams talking about snatching the team's heart away. And I got a couple of plays of what he's talking about, snatching her heart away. And rhythm throws right here. This was on Devontae Adams. Why? Because we were putting you right over the quarterback. But this is the very next play, Alex. We're running sticks.
Yep, sticks, underneath throws, right? These not only get the quarterback in rhythm, they have an effect on the defense, these positive plays.
And this is the play right here. Take their heart away from them. Great throw, Matthew Stafford. Great concentration and great catch by Parkinson. But rhythm throws, getting your quarterback in the rhythm, I think that stood out for me last night.
You got to give a lot of credit to Carolina, though. This is a team that actually backed into the playoffs. We gave them no chance. At least I gave them no chance in this game. But, man, they actually did. And hopefully this young coach can learn from some things. Primarily this. It's okay to punt your own end in the first half of a game. You don't have to go for it on 4th down. It's
on the
stupid.
first drive, the 4th down that he went for, yes.
And, bro,
yes,
you know what happens? You can't win a game in the first quarter, but you damn sure can lose a game.
Right.
So, to me, learn from this. And they weren't the only team that did this, but I'm telling you, it makes no sense. Believe in your defense, make them drive the field and punt. It's okay to punt.
Coach, a young head coach and young players, you saw it in the decision-making process. They had busts in zone coverage that were so easy on a couple plays. I mean, the punt, the Hubbard play, 3rd down, out of the backfield.
That was huge.
He ran for 20 yards.
Yes.
Those type of plays, by not going forward on 4th, just playing the game a little bit, getting the game played, and then getting the pressure off, that would have helped.
I have a serious question quickly on the Rams, because there are a lot of people Super Bowl pick. A lot of people here think they should have blown this team out. Certainly in the first half, it looks like they're going to. The way it plays out against an 8-9 team, did that look like a championship team to you? Did the Rams look like a team ready to make that run?
Listen, I don't want to discount the actual margin of victory. They went on the road across the country and won a playoff game, right? Like, these are playoff football teams. Carolina is a tough football team, right? And they're young and they have a good core and they'll learn from this experience. But absolutely not do I discount what the Rams, their style of victory here. They've won a playoff game. I absolutely love them going forward, most especially because of their coach and their quarterback.
Yeah, some of the best teams that I've been on in playoff runs, I mean, it's just survive and advance sometimes. That's all it's about, because you know the other team is going to be there for 4 quarters, and in the 4th quarter with 5 minutes or left to go, somebody's going to have to make a play, and you just know you will. I mean, that's the type of team the Rams are.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned for the Rams. Why? There's holes all over that secondary. And you just made Bryce Young look like, Joe Montana. And I'm just telling her, no way are you comfortable with this defense. This defense has played poorly the last month of the season. And so you're going to give teams that shouldn't even be close to you, an opportunity to win games. So me going forward, you better fix that defense.
And I believe they can real quick. They can clean that up. That's what practice for. But Alex, to your point, as long as you got an old vet like Matthew Stafford that lives in those moments, they have a great chance.
The NFL is a game of matchups, right? Obviously, Carolina was a unique matchup for this defense. Going forward, it's a completely different matchup, right? An opponent. Week to week, I don't think we put too much stock into that.
It'll be either Sam Darnold or Caleb Williams they get next week. Here's what the NFC playoff picture looks like. We know the Seahawks and Bears will host the games next week. If the Eagles win today, they will play at Chicago, and the Rams go back to Seattle. If the Niners win today, they go to Philadelphia. They go to Seattle, and the Bears would host the Rams. Meanwhile, with Stafford completely healthy in that game, Shefty in the Domino's pregame headquarters has that answer and more. Shefty.
Well, Greeny, you asked if the Rams looked like a championship team, and they certainly looked a little bit different after Matthew Stafford banged his right index finger on a Panthers pass rusher. At that point in time, they were playing well. From that point on, he completed about 20% of his passes. He stayed in the game. He finished the game, took him on the game-winning touchdown drive. He will undergo additional tests today on that finger. Can't imagine it holds him out, but we'll see what those tests today show. Meanwhile, there might not be a team in the league that gets more slips for more head coach interviews than the Los Angeles Rams. There are expected slips from Mike LaFleur, their offensive coordinator. They've already gotten slips from teams like Miami for Chris Shula, who could go coach in the city where his grandfather became famous. And Nate Shieldhouse is expected to receive multiple slips, including one this morning from the Cleveland Browns. Rex Ryan said that Bryce Young looked like Joe Montana yesterday. Well, he's coming off the game of his life, and he did it at a good time. The team is expected to pick up the 5th-year option in his contract, which isn't a great surprise because there have been 8 quarterbacks selected number 1 overall since the 5th-year option has been in place. All 8 have had their options picked up. Bryce Young is expected to become the 9th, but the real question becomes, do the Panthers try to sign him to a long-term deal? Do they try to build on that, or do they let him play it out on the 5th year? All questions that will unfold in the offseason, Greeny.
Hey, it's Garen Randy back with you at SportsCenter AM on a Sunday. A victory Sunday for the Chicago Bears. These were the Bear necessities. Down 3 after chipping away at that Packer lead in the 4th quarter. We flash you back. Same 2 teams, week 16, in overtime, same field even. And this was Caleb Williams. He didn't want a piece. He didn't want field goal range. He wanted the whole thing. Found DJ Moore. Go DJ. Because that's my DJ. 46 yards for a guy who's never been to the playoffs, has not had a winning record in his NFL career until this season. And then back to last night. It's winning time. Less than 2 minutes to go. Caleb, a double move. Great ball, great route from Moore, who's in. Caleb 361 through the air. That's a Bears playoff record in his first career playoff game. Here's how it sounded, Chicago Radio.
Caleb with a double move, throw down left sideline. DJ Moore inside the 5, end zone, touchdown, touchdown Bears. They've taken the lead on the Packers with 1:43 to go. Wow. Wow. Say it again. Wow.
Bears get 25 points in the 4th quarter to get this comeback win. They're grading the cheese.
He brought cheese.
Moore said a win's a win, but it's even better when we play the Packers. Here's Kimberly Martin with more from Chicago.
Caleb Williams walked into the Bears locker room with a cheese grater hat on his head and a smile on his face. In his playoff debut, he and the Bears delivered another dramatic comeback win. And Williams sent a clear message to the rival Packers in the process. Quote, "We're here and we're gonna be here for a while." Now, despite being down 21-3 at halftime, the Bears remain undaunted, clawing their way back to set the stage in front of a crowd Williams described as electric. "We keep fighting," said head coach Ben Johnson. "That's who we are. That's what we do. It's our identity at this point." And Williams said their poise under pressure is, quote, "no fluke," but the quarterback, who now has 11 passing touchdowns in the 4th quarter this season, stressed that in the playoffs, they can't afford to get behind every game. But just in case they do, don't count out the Cardiac Bears. "If the game comes down to the last 2 minutes, I believe in us," said Williams. "Until the clock hits 0, we've got a pretty good shot."
Coach Herm Edwards is here to weigh in. Coach, what'd you make of Caleb Williams in that playoff debut?
Spectacular. Must-watch TV. When you think about Chicago Bears, this whole season, they find a way in the 4th quarter to just have this tremendous focus. And then the quarterback, probably the best right now in the league, playing off schedule. I mean, he can play off schedule, how he can contort his body and make accurate throws down the field. It's just fun to watch. I mean, you knew last night when they were behind, it's not over. They're going to find a way, and the 4th quarter showed up, and the Bears found a way to win the football game.
Okay, well, part of being great at comebacks in the 4th quarter is what happens quarters 1 through 3,
Correct.
where you fall behind. What stood out to you about the Bears' defense yesterday?
Well, their best asset is taking the ball away. They had 33 takeaways. They got one last night, but I thought they brought pressure in the second half on Love. Didn't allow him to get comfortable in the pocket and got after him some. You know, didn't sack him a lot, but hit him and made him speed his clock up. Quarterback wants to sit comfortable in the pocket. When you speed their clock up, they can't get to that 3rd or 2nd read, and that's what the Bears did a good job of last night defensively.
Jordan Love, 4 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions, just the 3rd quarterback in NFL history to lose a playoff game, putting up those kind of numbers.
The Bears.
That's Herm Edwards. Back with Coach in just a moment.
Randy Scott, Gary Strzeski back with you on SportsCenter. This is what starts off wild card weekend. Rams down 31-27 with Matt Stafford, 53 career game-winning drives in the 4th quarter or overtime, most among active quarterbacks. This is what Stafford said before that Rams drive.
I walked behind Tay on the way out and was like, before that last drive, I forget what I said to him, but I was like, let's go snatch these guys. You know, like, let's go snatch this one back, man. Let's go.
I think you said, let's go snatch these guys' hearts. And that was pretty cold. That was pretty cold.
Cold-blooded. 2 minutes left. Rams down 31-27 after Bryce Young led a scoring drive at Stafford. To the man you just saw, Devontae Adams, 13 targets. Puka Nacua had 18 targets. Speak of the man, 2 plays later, 2nd and 4. Near midfield, Puka Doncic, 18-yard pickup, took a big hit. Rams still driving. A minute left, 2nd and 10 from the Carolina 30. It's Stafford to Kanote Mumpfield, 11-yard completion for the first down. The Rams, double-digit road favorites against the Panthers team who kind of snuck into that NFC South spot. Stafford, back shoulder, Colby Parkinson, go-ahead score. This is how it sounded on Rams radio.
Stafford has it helmet high, settles his feet, shoots right side, leaping catch, touchdown LA! Wow! At the front, right pylon, an absolute dot from Stafford, and the try coming.
He can still spin it, man. 300 yards, 3 scores. Rams, they move on. Lindsey Theory was there, and she has more.
Multiple Rams players told me they knew when they looked up at the clock, down 4 with 2:39 to play and 3 timeouts, that Stafford would come through. Puka Nacua saying, there's very few places I'd rather be than out there with number 9. Kyron Williams saying, when I see 9 tap into Matthew Stafford, it's dope. I asked Stafford what he felt on the field during his game-winning drive. Stafford grinned, telling me he felt calm and steady. Adams smiled, saying, that's MVP stuff.
Maybe so. Would be his first as Coach Herm Edwards joins the program.
I think he might have solidified it yesterday.
What'd you see exactly, Coach? What'd you see exactly?
I saw a quarterback that the moment was never too big. And let me tell you something. Not only the way he played, Bryce Young matched it.
Come on.
Bryce Young played well yesterday.
He's a fourth quarter
But it took everything out of Matthew Stafford to win this football game. And I thought in the fourth quarter it was special. And a play that doesn't get talked about a lot, their first score before they made the final score to win it.
Okay.
Nacua made the play of the game. It was going to be an interception, and he knocked it down from the defender. Or they don't get a chance to win this game. The little things like that matter, but Matthew Stafford was magnificent.
2 touchdowns for Nacua, double digits in receptions, but it's the plays that don't show up in the box score. However, the Rams had to claw their way back. They were double-digit favorites, supposed to go in this game and handle business easy. So that being said, does anything concern you now? Because the competition doesn't get any easier the deeper you get into the playoffs, and the Rams are advancing.
We watched Bryce Young have one of his better days against a Rams secondary. They couldn't cover those receivers. They literally couldn't cover them. They had no answer. They were open all day. They were working them. Anything they wanted to do, they could throw the ball. When they did not put pressure on Bryce Young, he played well. I mean, he was outstanding. They could have won this game. But the problem is they gave Matthew Stafford the ball back in the fourth quarter with 1:34 seconds left or something like that on the clock. It was too much time. You knew Matthew Stafford was going to go down. But if they would have killed the clock, we wouldn't be talking about the Rams right now. We'd be talking about.
We joked a lot about 37-year-old Stafford, missed a lot of the early parts of the season because he's dealing with sore back. But that gray beard, that gray hair, that 2 decades of experience, that's exactly what you want when you're in the second season right now.
He is very calm. You could just tell he was very, he was at ease in this situation. On the road. Knowing that I got to take him down for it. When Carolina took the lead in the fourth quarter and he came off that bench, you could just look in his eyes. He says, we're going down there. We're going to find a way to win this game.
Let's go snatch their hearts. That's what he said. This is Coach hanging out with us all morning. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Adam Schefter joins us now in a year when John Harbaugh is gone from the Ravens. Certainly anything can happen here. Shefty, the Packers lost their final 5 games of the season. What can you tell us about LaFleur's future?
Well, Hannah, there already have been discussions between Matt LaFleur and the Packers about extending him. But obviously, there's still a lot up in the air, and there was going to be a lot up in the air until after the season ended, and it ended last night. And so with him having 1 year left on his contract, it does become a question of whether the Packers want to extend him or whether they want to move on from him. If they were to move on from him, if they made that decision, I think they would be doing it with the idea that the name Harlan is royalty in the Green Bay area. Brian Harlan, also happens to be the agent that represents John Harbaugh. And so they would have to make the decision that this would be something that they would be willing to do. We've heard a lot of talk from about a lot of different teams. This is something that Green Bay has to decide here in the coming days, very shortly, about whether they want to jump in or whether they want to keep a coach who's been as successful as Matt LaFleur. Their decision, that belongs to Ed Policy.
Yeah, listen, 76-40-1 in the regular season. Everybody can see that topic bar below you, 3-6 in the playoffs. Yeah, Shefty, one more thing.
But I do want to say, again, that would make the coaching cycle spin even faster because all of a sudden, now, just like it changed once John Harbaugh was brought into the cycle, if Matt LaFleur's brought into the cycle, these other teams also would be lining up to hire him.
And what if Mike Tomlin was brought into the cycle? I mean, we may not be done with this, and it just feels like an epic year in terms of that coaching carousel, potentially. All right, Shefty, we'll get back to you with some key injuries today. We got to talk more about last night, though. So let's go over to BC and the fellas.
Yeah, Hannah, here with Damian Woody, of course, Herm Edwards. You heard Adam Schefter here. Give me your quick thoughts here. What do you think, Green Bay?
Look, Adam knows he's more tied in than I am. But all of a sudden, 8 coaches. If he's one that is dismissed, who's taking all these jobs? That's right.
What do you think, Big Wood?
Taking all these jobs.
If you're Green Bay, you start thinking about Matt LaFleur?
Listen, I think Hannah said it perfectly. If Baltimore dismissed John Harbaugh in anybody's game in this type of situation, we just know the atmosphere in the NFL. Like, these owners, they want results now. They want championships now. So we'll see.
Okay. You know what drives this? We always say it's the owners. It's not the owners, it's the fan bases. You have a coach that stays too long.
Interesting. Let's talk about this game. Coach, how did the Bears pull off this comeback?
Well, it's real simple. Get it into the fourth quarter and play from behind. That's what they do. They've won 7 games this year with Caleb Williams playing outstanding at the quarterback position. And when it gets to the fourth quarter, this team's very calm. And last night, we're sitting there watching this game. I said, he's going to find a way to win the game. He is unbelievable how he can throw a football with accuracy off platform. I mean, you want to actually keep Caleb Williams in the pocket. You don't want him to leave the pocket because that's when all the craziness starts. He runs around, he throws like hook shots, he throws underneath balls. He just finds ways to get the ball down the field.
Yeah, but all of that didn't happen without the Bears defense. I mean, look at the difference between the first half when Green Bay was doing whatever they wanted and the second half when their first 3 drives were 3 and out. In the fourth drive, they only had 5 plays in that drive. So I thought defensive coordinator Dennis Allen did a fantastic job of cranking up pressure on Jordan Love because they didn't get to him at much of any in the first half. But in the second half, he was clearly feeling the heat from that Chicago Bears defense.
Caleb Williams threw for nearly 200 yards in that fourth quarter. Also, the Bears scored 25 points, but it was a costly one. They lost their linebacker, T.J. Edwards, and their left tackle, Ozzie Trapillo, to season-ending injuries.
What a scene there in Carolina for the fans. What an effort by a team that really no one predicted would win that game, but on go the Rams. All right, so Matthew Stafford, it looked like he injured his finger on his right hand there. He hit it on a Panthers defender in the second quarter. I know he didn't come out of the game or miss a play, but what can you tell us about Stafford and his health?
And he didn't miss a play, but he missed some passes after that, and his completion percentage dropped after he banged his finger. He said after the game, it wasn't pleasant. His adrenaline helped him get through the game, but he's going to undergo tests today in Los Angeles that could reveal a sprained right pointer finger. Now, we'll see how that plays out, but obviously that'll be an issue in the second round. May get an extra day to rest, may not, but he was able to stay in the game, finish it, and lead them to victory in dramatic fashion. So clearly it looks like he'll be able to play, but clearly that finger was not entirely right yesterday once he injured it.
Yeah, let's talk about the Bears last night, just before I let you go, because their MO all season long has been these comebacks. That was their 7th fourth quarter comeback. What impressed you about what they were able to do last night?
Incredible. And as a former defensive player, you just know this Bear team is never going to die, but the Packer defense are going to see certain plays for the rest of their lives, really. I mean, this little bust here by the linebackers, number 3 comes across. Quay Walker, does he have him? Does McDuffie have him? There's miscommunication on the goal line inside the 10. And then this one here, it's just a fake wide receiver screen and go, but he bites. Carrington Valentine bites. I mean, these are the type of plays when seasons end, defenders see these plays in their sleep. They're nightmares, and the Packer defense are going to have to live with that. But Chicago, love the city, love the team. Can't believe that they're going on. They just keep doing it. These Bears will never die, Hannah. I love it.
I know. Wasn't it great? It was fantastic. They're actually resurrected. I mean, we got to say the Bears, they came close, but they're going to play either the Eagles or the Rams, and they're going to get them at home next week.
And they can beat either of them.
There you
Yes.
go. I love. See, you heard it right here. Can't wait to see you on Countdown, Teddy. Thanks for joining us on SportsCenter.
Grainger knows that if you're a school custodian, cleanliness is your top priority. That's why you can rely on Grainger